Who or what is modern feminism working for? Honestly, the rise of feminism to the point where men have been emasculated or have become a figure of hatred needs to stop. Women have opportunities boundless in the fields that we want to explore. We don't want to participate in every industry that men are successful at. You go out and have a look. Who's building the roads? Who's building the buildings? It's still by and large men who are out there doing the hard yakka jobs, and women whining that we want equality. We want to be men. We want to eradicate men. We want to disrupt masculinity. Now, I know there's voices out there, the Andrew Tates in the world, who there's rising a cry to masculinity, to a return of masculinity. But can we have like a mid-voice? Can we have like a reasonable voice come forward that is a return to healthy feminism and a return to healthy masculinity, where men are allowed to feel like men and they're allowed to stand up tall and be providers and protectors and love their families, and women are allowed to be educated, they're allowed to participate in the workforce, and they're allowed to nurture families. Like, there's got to be a middle voice here somewhere, because relationships are suffering. Men and women are getting lonelier and lonelier and more isolated as the delineation between these traditional roles gets more and more eroded. Can we start to love each other and work together again? Can we value the role of men in society? Can we value the role of women in society? And start to fix what has become a crazy, crazy scenario. I don't know about you, but like relationships, I'm talking to people in relationships all the time. It's my day to day, working in the spiritual realm. One of the biggest aspects of my work is talking to people about their relationships. And by and large, the biggest complaints that I hear is that I'm having to do the heavy lifting. As a woman, my man doesn't know how to lead. As a woman, my man doesn't know how to reciprocate. My man doesn't know, like, the list goes on and on and on and on about the masculine end of the workload that women have had to pick up. And, let me know, are you in a scenario, like, are you having to put up with things like your man is texting other women all the time while you're at work and you're earning an income and you're providing? Are you the one spoiling him, providing the spoil? And it feels like it's upside down and on its head. Not to say that women earning their own money and earning their, making their way in the world, it's not bad. I love working. I love raising a family. But it's like the roles are so confused and so out of whack that relationships are really taking a hit. Like the idea of commitment and having one partner. Now, the rise of a voice like an Andrew Tate, who puts masculinity in the forefront, which I listen to his voice, I listen to his message, I dive deep into it and I try and unpack it. And he's trying to push men to have strength and courage and all of these wonderful attributes that we want in masculinity. But he's pushing them to be in this 1%, where he tells them that it's okay to date multiple people, and it's, the 1% are going to get all the hot women. And that message, I don't know how well it's translating down. And we've got the scenario where, men in dating think it's okay to not be dating towards commitment and to be talking to multiple women at one time, leaving this world that we're moving into with people going, I don't know where I stand in it. I just don't know where I stand. And I reckon if I did a survey across the board, women would be saying, yeah, I've had to deal with my men texting other women and following other women and not wanting to commit, being isolated, being checked out, being secretive, not making me feel special, not making me feel safe, not making me feel secure. Why? Because feminism has had such a roar of a voice that said women can do it on their own. And we have a generation of men and women who don't know how to relate to each other to make each other feel safe in relationships. And we've got ideas like benching people, going, well, you're my main person, but you're my backup. Just in case this shit goes wrong, I'm going to have you sitting waiting in the wings so I can pull you forward when the time is right, when this unravels. Like, And I know we live in a time, back in the day, commitment was a much more serious ideal to fight for, because men had to secure their lineage, right? They had to be able to go, well, this is my person, and I know that I'm the only man who's going to be with her, so I know that the baby she's going to be carrying is mine, and my family line will continue. But since the rise of things like birth control and abortion and DNA testing, it's not as important for those kinds of values to be in place, because we can go around it, right? We don't have to secure it by going, I'm the only one you're going to be with, right? We don't have to secure it that way, because there are things like morning after pills and birth control and abortion and DNA testing that can prove whether that child is yours or not. So this has led to this idea of going, commitment is not as prioritized, but essentially that is doing damage to people's souls, to not be able to feel that the person that they're with is cherishing them and loving them and going, I value you. And then it's when those feelings start to seriously erode, then we're abandoning each other, and then we're back out on the market, and we're not valued because we've got a body count because we've been with other people. This scenario needs a comeuppance. And, you know, like, I don't feel like a lone voice in the wilderness saying that feminism needs a shake-up, and the idea of what feminine and masculine roles should look like moving forward needs a shake-up. It needs a revision, another look at, a new perspective, where we're going, what do you value? What do I value? How do we come together? How do we work together? And I've heard beautiful analogies about how relationships aren't meant to be 50-50. They're meant to be, let's pull the load together. Today, if you've got 80 and I've got 20, that's still us pulling the load together at 100%, and vice versa. So this idea of going, we're coming together for the idea of wanting to work together with the masculine strengths being valued, being their logic and their action and their ability to provide and protect, and women, they're beautiful, nurturing, loving, sensual, spiritual souls. And we have both these aspects alive in both of us. So women have masculine and feminine, and men have masculine and feminine qualities that need to be brought to the table in a manner that allows each and all to feel like they're able to be safe, right? Safe and understood in what makes that person feel able to move through the world without looking over their shoulder all the time, or without putting them into distress every time that their position in the relationship is challenged. So it is finding out what makes you safe, what makes you feel secure, what makes you feel trusted, and looking to implement those things in our relationships and value the men and women in our lives and what they bring naturally to the table, and supporting those ideals, but with understanding towards the other. Empathy, compassion, understanding, and connection. Let's make these the ideals of feminism, versus we want to be equal. We want to be heard, for sure. We want to be valued. We want to be cherished for all the wonderful qualities that we possess as women. But we also want to find our safe space. And I think the safest space women are going to feel is a return to the days where nurturing was part of the game, where we got to nurture the men in our lives instead of feeling like they were the enemy. It's something I really want to express, that we need a new approach to feminism and a new approach to the way men and women view each other in relationships, that is mutually respected, mutually supportive, and nurturing to both. I'm Susie from Pink Diamond Guide. In faith, hope, and love. It's bye from me for now.